So this guy named Dreamcast guy, he played the stress test of Mortal Kombat 11 like a good week ago, I would say. Yeah, like a good week ago. And he made this video that's titled, "Does Mortal Kombat 11 Suck?" We're definitely gonna react to this shit. Like, I want to see what he's talking about. I mean, it's the stress test. It's not even the beta. It says beta review, but it's not really the beta because it's before the beta. I know no one got the early access to the beta at all. So let's go ahead and hop into this real quick.
Brand new cap, brand new swag. Okay, let's go. Brand new kicks, got a brand new bitch with a brand new bag. Oh my shit.
See what this man talking about, man. Maybe he's not talking shit. Maybe he is. I don't fucking know. Y'all know me, and this nigga intro
What's up,
long as
gamers?
shit.
Dreamcast guy here, coming at you today with another episode of Does It Suck? The show where we take a deep dive look at a new game and see what's good or bad about it. This time we're going to be checking out the new beta for Mortal
It's a
Kombat
smart series
11.
reviews,
Now
not
this
gonna
game
lie.
is something that a lot of us have been anticipating for a bit, because after its initial reveal, everybody's just been kind of aching to see any details we could on the new combat, the new characters, and of course, the new fatalities. Well, this morning I got access to it, and I've been playing it a bunch, but really this game, it's kind of just the sequel you're probably predicting. To be quite frank, they didn't add a lot. What they did instead is created a lot of polish. This is a game that already seems to be trying to refine the already almost magical balance of Mortal Kombat. This game is great. Now, in this beta, I only have access to 3 separate characters, which are of course Scorpion, Scarlet, and Baraka. And since Scorpion is one of the oldest and most famous characters in the entire franchise, unfortunately, about 99% of people online would only play as him. So if you're seeing a bunch of him in these matches, I promise it's just the fact that people are a little bit unoriginal. But I still just had so much fun fighting against anybody because the new combat style and the tweaks they've made are so fantastic. So let's just get this out of the way right at the start. Mortal Kombat is a very, very different kind of fighter. If you've never actually sat down with a controller in your hand and tried to get good at these, the biggest difference between this and other fighting games is that they are very, very strategic. Now, let me just show you an example of that. So here's a dude I did a bunch of matches against, and he is by far the best player I encountered online. I will fully admit that he beat me every single time, and sometimes just completely decimated me, but it was awesome to even fight him and get my butt kicked because he was just so careful. There is a lot of strategy in your motions in Mortal Kombat. Every single swing of your fists or time you're trying to do a special can be a little bit more slow and methodical, which means you need to try and carefully predict what your enemy is going to do so you can properly counter them. Like,
I just noticed he's like doing the same moves, you know what I'm saying? He's doing the same combo, the same, you know, jumping after the combo, you know what I'm saying? So the player that he's playing against or fighting against, he's seeing that shit. That's what it is, bro. You gotta be different, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to mentally play with my opponent, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I'm fighting against somebody online and shit like that. So that's how I'm gonna try to do it. Try to switch things up, not do the same thing over and over again. You know, let's get back into it.
in this guy's case, this dude was able to constantly block my moves, throw out some great stuns, and constantly chain them together into really long hit sequences. But that's the thing about this. Mortal Kombat
it's gonna be like that when you first play, though.
Good combos or chain attacks. It's really about trying to dominate the battlefield. And here is where I absolutely fell in love with the new person Scarlet. Now, it's true that she was in a previous game as downloadable content, but for people like me, it's the most interesting element of Mortal Kombat 11, and something that I think is going to definitely eat up the most hours at release, which is that in this beta, I obviously only have access to 3 characters, but it does feel like more than that, mostly because they're actually fighting stances. Everybody has multiples of them, so it feels like, you know,
that makes sense.
It feels like 9. Like, just talking about Scorpion, Scorpion has several different styles of attack, and some of his stuff is like, this stance here is called Boone's favorite, obviously a reference to the creator of Mortal Kombat's Ed Boon. Well, this dude, depending on how you play him and what his stance is, you can actually make him much more range-based, blowing more fire, doing more grapples, doing more throws. Or you can try instead change it so that lots of his attacks are much more close range and visceral, something that's going to make him almost change as a character completely just by tinkering with these mechanics. Now, I just want to say that this game is very, very impressive. Every part about this seems so freaking refined and has such a high level of polish. But something that was really cool to me personally is that I'm very, very excited for the story mode. You know, one of my things when it comes to fighting games is I want a complete package.
That's what I'm looking for.
A fighting game, I want to make sure it has so much different styles of content to keep me entertained for a long period of time. I want the biggest bang for my buck. So I decided to actually tinker around with the menus in this beta, and as you can see, it looks like we're going to have a ton of different options. Not only can we just have random AI fights and training, there's also a single-player story that apparently is going to be heavily centered on time travel. There's towers, so you can just basically continually climb up stuff. You can basically just keep going against heavier and heavier difficulty matches until eventually you lose. This is exactly what I was hoping the game would have, is a heavy emphasis on not just high-level play, not just online matches, but also just more ways to enjoy yourself. Going back to the gameplay itself, though, something they've done in this that I think is probably the most brilliant move is the idea of the fact that there is now an offensive and defensive style meters on the side of the screen here, which basically control the amount of block you have and also some of the new specials. Like there's this newly introduced concept called the Fatal Blow. It's basically your way of trying to even the odds. You'll notice sometimes that I'll be getting completely decimated by an extremely good player online, and then right before I die, I managed to at least pull off one of these moves, tear them up a little bit, have a big fancy counter, and feel a little bit better, and sometimes I've even actually managed to make a giant comeback because I was able to pull off one of these cool specials. There's also the Crushing Blow, which is sort of like a power counter.
Right, that Crushing Blow goes stupid.
If somebody's in the middle of an attack, you can execute this to break their combo. It's something that, if used tactically, can completely change the tide of a match. Something people discuss a lot in the online fighting community is the idea of momentum, about how as you're doing good, it actually hypes you up, it gets your adrenaline pumping, it makes it where your brain literally starts processing data faster, and essentially makes it easier to crush your opponents. And I definitely think that
nigga had to cut that. He was getting his ass whooped,
because it sort of just throws a gear into the concept of momentum, and I like that. I like being able to try and make that crazy legendary comeback, and sometimes I'm able to do it. All three of the characters in this beta are super good, but I do want to talk a little bit about the matchmaking. So it seems like in the final game there will be a ranking system where it constantly tries to find people who have won as much as you have. If you've won 25 matches in a row, you'll actually go against other people who have also won that many consecutive rounds, and it basically makes it where you're constantly being challenged, and also you're not just chewing up noobs all day. Well, in this online thing here, this beta doesn't have that yet. This is just casual plays. You just get thrown into random matches with essentially just anybody on the internet. So what I was curious about is how much these skill levels could be, well, just wildly different. So that was kind of interesting, just suddenly facing people who didn't know the buttons or gods. But also, I was curious how people would deal with the online networking. So one of the things that's kind of present in a lot of these games is you need to make sure that the internet infrastructure, the netcode, is built to be as swift as possible. Thankfully, in my experience, it does seem as if NetherRealms and the developers over there have managed to make stuff that is extra liquidy smooth.
Hey, all I know is this shit better not be glitching. That's all I know. It better not glitch. That's all I care about. Let's hop back into it, though. If it glitches while I'm fighting online, I'm raging. I'm tossing my controller. Y'all gonna see that shit in the stream.
I only encountered one match where things were laggy, but I will say that it was absolutely awful. I mean, I seriously wanted to have my freaking face ripped off like Baraka when this started lagging, because it was just so infuriating. I'm gonna show you a little bit of this gameplay here, just because I honestly
lagging like
fuck. I was going to shut the game off, because when this starts to lag, every single time it freezes, everyone one of your commands stops registering. So if
That's
I'm
why I'm about to be on that
trying
story mode.
Well, if I'm thrown in the air and I'm trying
Heavier
to do a
than normal.
counterattack as I land, if it starts lagging, then sometimes it will not register your counter blow. It's not really considered a glitch in the game so much as it is an error in the server, and it seems like it's just something that's on the player's side. I'm hoping that in the final game, they'll have some sort of option where I can basically say, I only want to fight people with great internet connections, because really, I just really despise trying to get into the arena with people whose computers are so slow they can't land a punch without seeing a loading bar.
Right.
But these have just been my random off-the-cuff thoughts after spending some time with this, and honestly, I'm impressed. I'm definitely going to be buying this game, but I knew that before I even saw a trailer. Of
course.
Mortal Kombat is a franchise that's very, very interesting to me, and personally, I actually get invested in the plot lines. I like the stories, I like the characters, and honestly, I just like some gory good combat. But what do you think? Did you get a chance to have early access into this beta like I did, or are you waiting for one of the closed or open betas down the line? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all, and keep dreaming.
Okay, so he didn't talk too bad about it. He didn't talk bad about the game at all, really. Ins and the outs of the game so far, you know what I'm saying, on the stress test. I think it's gonna, well, we all know it's gonna be a good game. This shit's gonna be fucking amazing. Down to the physics, down to the graphics, everything, the realism, all that shit is gonna be good, man. You already know. But hey, I just wanted to watch this because I saw the title. You know what I'm saying? I saw the title, it says, does Mortal Kombat 11 suck? So the title can be misleading. Of course I'm going to title this shit, does Mortal Kombat 11 suck? You know what I'm saying? With reaction and review, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm reacting to it and I'm reviewing the video while I'm, you know, watching the video. So, of course I'm going to title that. That's why I watch these videos, because I just really want to know other people's opinion about certain games. That's why I do that. You know what I'm saying? And then I just kick back on it and speak my brain or my mind about what they're talking about. That's how I do this shit, man. But hey, man, if y'all enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And please turn on notifications to get notified when I upload and stream, man. I will be dropping more bangers, man. Stay tuned for that. I have another sponsor video with Nick Natoli. He just dropped a new song, bro, so we got to react to that, man. He just hit me up today. Yes, sir. It's your boy, Joseph Witty. I'm out of here. Yeah.
Hollywood.
Hey! Let's go! Nut check! Oh!
Go back to the 90s.
This shit about to be so hard.